What's up, guys? Welcome back to Meg on the Mic, and we got a really interesting episode for you guys today. Clearly, it's been one heck of a week for me. I had the stomach flu, as you guys all known, and maybe some other, little cheating scandal stuff as well. But it's okay because we're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about our feelings, and just to reiterate, these are all my feelings and my opinions, and that's it. So take what you will with a grain of salt. I'm going to leave out a lot of details, but essentially I'm not going to even reference by name. I met my ex on a podcast. I was in Nashville actually doing something for NASCAR and also just enjoying NHL All-Star Weekend of last year. And I got a text from somebody I knew and they were like, "Do you want to come on my podcast tonight?" And I was like, "Well, I'm flying back to New York City tonight. Perfect." And he was like, "Okay, my buddy's also going to come on," which is my ex now. I didn't really know him that well, and I didn't really know if I was comfortable even going on that podcast in the first place, but I did it regardless because I was like, why not? I was like newly single. I was living my life. It was like my say yes summer, so I went, and that's how I met him.
Okay, so you meet on the podcast, and then how does that transition to you guys actually dating?
We started talking in like October of last year. We would like go on like trips together, and I would like go as like kind of like a bro. Like I would get invited, or so I thought, as like a bro. But like I wasn't talking to any of them. It was just kind of like, oh, like, do you want to come to like a Drake concert? Oh, do you want to come to Mexico or wherever else, a UFC fight? Like, you want to be my date to a UFC fight? And I was like, sure, whatever, cool. This is all fun. I loved it. I was 23, living my life. And so we start just like being friends, hanging out. And then it wasn't until like late October that I was like, okay, I kind of have like a little bit of a crush on this person. This person's, they're cute. We like mesh well. But I didn't really know so much about them. But that's where we started like getting to know each other. And I would say we didn't really even know each other up until like around the time we started dating. Like we started really getting to know each other in like January, February. But we didn't start dating till March. So like we were always just a situationship. So like people are confused about the timeline because it was like off and on at some points, but because obviously like I thought there was like exclusivity there, but like I don't know, we had that talk, but it was just kind of a situationship up until the official dating. But the official dating actually was a product of ending the situationship a week prior, and he came back into my life a week later and was like, I need you in my life, and then we started dating.
I feel like you talked about him having like these grand gestures for you when he like Valentine's Day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how did he ask you to be his girlfriend?
He flew to New York. And I'm like scared to even say dates because like I don't want more people to come out of the woodwork and be like, I was with him after that. So I'm like, oh God. Because I don't know what's true and what's not true, obviously. Now that like I'm single, a lot of people are commenting like whatever they want, and I'm not believing every single one of them, but there are some that hold a little more weight to them that I'm like, interesting. So I'm also not validating any of like the other people that have come out of the woodwork, but we started officially dating March 31st. So we've been dating for, if we were still dating, it would have been almost 9 months, but we only made it to 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but the grand gestures was like taking me everywhere, inviting me to every event, introducing me to all his coworkers, all his like partners, all his people in his closest circle, his family. Taking me to Valentine's Day, like a big Valentine's Day surprise, and we weren't even dating. And so I was like, do you love me? Are we like, what is this? So it was like always very confusing, and we weren't even dating when we went on our Valentine's Day trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is like crazy.
And then how was it in the beginning with him in general? Like how did he act around you? How did he treat you? Like once you were actually officially his girlfriend?
It was great. Like people had a different view of what and it's funny because I always kept the relationship super private. Nobody knew actually what was happening behind closed doors, which was a very normal relationship, a very healthy relationship, a very non-toxic relationship. It was very, like, dare I even say mundane, like going to get coffees, going, sitting on the balcony and meditating and just doing very, very positive things like in our lives to like better ourselves, better each other. It was always very happy. We'd always find little fun things to do together, little activities, So it was very, and also like getting very involved in like health and wellness as well was like something that we did together, and discovering, that journey when it came to like, everyone knows that lifestyle that they see online as like partying and a lot of drinking and consumption of that type of stuff. So when it came to like me and him, there was the complete opposite of that. It was very much like drinking tea and eating healthy and going to get our coffees, going on walks, going on dates, going to the bookstore, there's just so many little things that like were like private to us that a lot of people didn't know. And it was always good. I have no complaints about the entirety of the relationship until after. It wasn't until it ended that I realized some things. But yeah, our Europe trips, everything was just so beautiful and calm and amazing. And I have no complaints. But a lot of people saw what was on the outside and was like, oh, they probably just party together all the time. They probably like, how do they even fit together? People were probably confused how we even like bonded on a real level, but we did, and it was always a good time. And I loved his friends. I loved his circle. They were all from Canada, and I loved my little Canadians. I would cook for them, and they were always so grateful, and they were always so supportive of me and my career. So it was always just like a really healthy environment because he lived with like a bunch of his friends. So I was always surrounded by them, and I loved them dearly.
And we know he's in the public eye. When you first started dating him, did that make you nervous, dating someone who was famous?
Absolutely. I didn't realize how big he was. Because I don't watch their content because I'm a girl. Like, I don't watch their content. And I sometimes, even to this day, like, even while dating, like, I preferred not to because it just, like, it wasn't something I wanted to consume. It wasn't something that I found pleasurable to watch. So I just didn't. And that was his job. And I knew that going into it. I respected it because if that's how you're making your money and that's what you built your empire on and that's what you fell into and you have a passion for it, I'm not one to judge, but I'm very secure in myself that I was like, I'm just not going to consume the content. And maybe I should have, like, if that's something that like ended up bothering me, I would have said something, but it honestly never did. I was always very supportive of the work, and people always will make comments being like, well, don't you watch the content? And I'm like, well, no, but that's like not who they are behind the scenes, or like, so I thought that's not who they are on their day-to-day lives. That's really just, in my opinion, like what I saw was in real life, everyone's very normal. But I think the first example I saw of how famous he was when we went to a UFC fight as like friends, and the amount of people like screaming his name. I had never gone to a UFC fight. I had no idea about the culture around it. And he went, and apparently he like went to a lot of them. Like, I didn't know the lore of them, but they went to a lot of UFC fights, and we went and literally everyone was screaming his name when he walked in. And I was like, that's quite something, because I didn't even know like what we were getting into. And like then you're sitting like row 2 and you're like, this is crazy, like this is insane. And everyone's seeing him, and then I'm like, people are probably seeing me, then they're probably like, who is this random person next to him? Or maybe they know, maybe they don't. We were in my city, we were in New York City, but it was kind of an odd feeling, because I feel like even athletes like don't get screamed at like that, but I think it's just like their fan base is a little more like rambunctious.
I think there's a little bit of confusion on when you guys actually transitioned from being a situationship to a relationship.
I hate the word situationship.
Yeah,
it's true.
A friends to not friends. We could say that. How did that happen?
Do you want to know why people were confused the entire time? Is because we were talking in December. We actually put a pause on it on New Year's Eve, which who knows what happened New Year's Eve, but he put a pause on it because he was like, you're a really good person, and I don't want to like mess up like this friendship. Like, this is a really good friendship we have here, and like I don't want to, upset you in any way. And like, and meanwhile, we weren't even like really anything by New Year's Eve. We were just like literally hanging out, maybe doing a little bit of Christmas shopping together, nothing intense. But we ended things on New Year's Eve for like a few days, maybe like a week, and then it was like off and on because we weren't dating. We were just like talking. You know how like when you're single and you're just like schmoozing around a little bit? It was like that. It was very lighthearted. There wasn't anything serious going on. So on New Year's Eve, we decided, let's just be friends. And then, stuff happens. And then late January, getting a text, getting a Snapchat, and you're, talking again and being like, all right, come to my city. Let's hang out. And we're going back and forth, and I'm like, I want to come see you, and all the things. So I go back, and you know, we're just talking. Like I said, this is nothing serious. Like, this is not me not standing up. This is not him not standing up. It was just purely like having fun. We do a few more trips together. We go to like Toronto, and then we go a few places, and we end up in I end up like meeting his dad before we even start dating. Actually, we were in Toronto for a UFC fight, and I end up meeting his dad because we were like going ice skating one day. And so then I was like, okay, like I'm definitely just a friend, because like here I am pulling up to his dad's place with like all hockey gear on, and like it was still very much like we're not dating. We were more than friends, obviously, but we were not together. It wasn't truly exclusive. Like, even though we had like had the exclusive talk, it wasn't really anything crazy. But Valentine's Day then rolls around after January, and he plans something for Valentine's Day. And that's where I was like, I think we're getting to the point where we're actually going to be a couple. Like, he takes me on a surprise trip. He says, pack a bag, and he takes me to the Bahamas for one night on like a private jet. And it's very romantic, and there's flowers and like strawberries and champagne, and we just do the whole thing, and we just enjoy each other's company. We go out to dinner, and it was beautiful, and I was so thankful for it. But also, like, that's very confusing as someone who's just like talking to somebody. Like, you think that grand of a gesture is like, okay, we're gonna date, and he still didn't ask me to be his girlfriend there. And I was like, okay, were you doing this like for fun? Should I have initiated like a conversation about this, like what this was? But that was very confusing because like it was so grand. Regardless, we continue talking through February, and then he goes on a week-long trip in March, and that's where we end things again, like call things off. And this is a week before we actually officially started dating. I was going on a trip with my family to Punta Cana, and he was going on a trip for his job, and we ended things because he's like, I don't know if I can do this. And he always felt that his job was no place for a girlfriend. Like, he always like felt in his heart, and like, or at least this is what I'm getting from what he always would tell me, is that he knows like no girlfriend is ever gonna be okay with it. And I supported his job. I was like, as long as you're good to me, I support you going out and having a good time, because I'm gonna go out and have a good time. What are you talking about? I'm still gonna go out with my friends. And so I never saw him going out as weird. So I never understood the whole dynamic of like getting mad at him for going out, especially when his whole brand and also like some business ventures he were in really relied on him going out and hosting. And so I always supported him going out and doing that. I was never that person that was like, no, I don't like that. I never got mad at him for going out, because I was also having fun living my life. And so we ended things for like a week in March. Apparently he like had a change of heart, and he decided like, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to come back stronger. And he went on his week-long trip. I went on my week-long trip. And when I came back home, he flew to New York and asked me to be my boyfriend. Yeah. He asked me to be his girlfriend.
You to be his girlfriend.
And then from March 31st on, we were dating, no breaks. Ever since we were officially boyfriend-girlfriend, we had never had issues. We had never fought. We had like the most healthiest communication. So from March 31st on is where it wasn't messy, where it was just purely boyfriend-girlfriend straight. But we didn't really like post too much about it. But we would joke around before we were dating that we were like besties, and like he posted a podcast in like January that like he wasn't looking for like a good relationship, even though like I was literally like at his like house. So like maybe I should have stood up a little sooner, but also we weren't dating. We were just having like fun times. A lot of fun times. Yeah. Okay, it wasn't until March 31st that we took it serious.
So you said that you guys didn't really often go super public, or you didn't really post or ever go super public.
We didn't need like validation, which is good, because we both agreed social media is a super big part in both of our lives, and like it was super toxic to like need that validation, or at least this is like my opinion. I never needed to like post him. Like I didn't care like if girls like were hitting on him. Like I didn't care if girls were like coming up to him, DMing him. Like I knew he knew a lot of people. But I was very secure in my relationship with him, where I didn't care to post him. Like I posted him like, I think like the first time we even posted each other, like honestly, when we were boyfriend girlfriend, was when we went to like a Europe trip, and he told me that he was gonna post me first. He was like, I'm gonna do the posting first. I didn't do the posting first. I didn't do the hard launch first. He did the hard launch first. It was a good hard launch though. It was good photos. But yeah.
Would you feel like if he would you have posted before him in any case?
No.
Like a hard launch. You wanted him to go first.
Because people always are going to assume that if you're dating someone with a platform, and this is such a superficial take, that you're going to always clout chase them. But I didn't care about his platform. I didn't even watch his content. I literally had no idea what it was. Like, I was not a teenage boy. I was not a college age boy. I'm like literally just a girl. And I never cared about like his platform whatsoever. So it always shocked me. People were like, oh, like you like, why don't you post him more? Why don't you post him more? And I'm like, because I don't need to. A good relationship didn't need to be posted. And so that's how I genuinely felt at the time. And so when he decided to do the hard launch first, which is like so stupid that this is even like a thing to do the hard launch first, then I just did it right after. And I put him in a photo dump and was like, okay, here you go, people. Confirmation. But still, some people didn't even know. And I kind of liked that. It wasn't in everybody's faces. Yeah. And I don't think it ever really was until like maybe his birthday is like when I posted like truly him again. And then maybe like during some like accomplishments he had like later. But I never was like just posting him casually all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about actual dating life. How was your relationship with his parents? Did you guys have shared friends? What was that like?
Like his inner circle?
Yeah, his inner circle. Were you close with them? Did you met his dad? Did you have a good relationship?
Family.
Okay.
I'm not gonna speak too much on his family.
Yeah.
I like respect for them, and
Totally.
I loved everybody that I met in his circle. That doesn't change. Am I gonna really connect ever again with them? Probably not. I don't think that's a can of worms I want to open up again by entering each other's circles. You know, he met my family and everything, and you know, he knew my friends, I knew his friends very well, and we all had really close bonds, and so I thought. But I don't think that I did get some texts after the fact. I'll say that. I did get some texts. I'm not going to say from who. After the fact of what happened. Like sending me love and sending me support, and I did the same thing back. I'm not going to say who did it, but I know there was love there. However, I just don't think I feel anything towards like that, the inner circles now, because they obviously they maybe knew some things that I didn't, allegedly, and so like I don't feel like there was true friendships. Also, your boyfriend's friends, they're your friends in the meantime, but they're not your friends in real life. Like, they're not, maybe the girlfriends, but like his guy friends are not your actual friends. They can support you and love you at the time, but like they weren't mine to keep, obviously, and I never wanted to. If we ever broke up, like I knew I would never see any of them again because they all lived together, and like his people he works with, but they all were really amazing in their relationship. Like, I'm talking about like after the fact. In the relationship, very close with everybody, loved everybody. Loved his friends, his family, his coworkers, the people that were alongside him as business partners. Everyone was like so amazing and always treated me with such respect and so much love and care. And like I always wanted to leave that same thing there. So I had no indication that anything was ever up. No indication.
That's crazy. So there was no red flags or anything during the relationship.
No red
Nothing.
flags. I had no red flags. Believe it or not, like a lot of people are probably like, they look at it and they're like, oh, how could you expect, like, obviously that was to happen to you. And I'm like, in the relationship though, when we were deep in the thick of it, I had no red flags. It was not toxic whatsoever. It was good. It was easy. It was simple. It was effortless, believe it or not. Yeah. Maybe that's not a red flag, but like, maybe it could have been. Who knows? I don't. You can't like look back too much and analyze, because then you're gonna overthink and think too much. But the only thing I overanalyzed and stayed analyzing on is the moment that I saw on social media that validated why we broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How progressed was the relationship? Did you guys say I love you? Did you talk about future plans? What was that? Do you want to talk about it?
We were in love.
Did you say I love you?
Yeah. We were definitely in love. I'm not going to get too much into like our private conversations and what we did and didn't say, but it definitely, like, it wasn't superficial whatsoever. Like, to me, it wasn't superficial. It was very deep. It was very heartfelt the entire time. and there was a level of communication, like that was a deeper understanding from the both of us about our lives and the way our brains worked, and just things that we felt and opinions we had, a lot of things that we agreed on. So I'll say that.
Do you think once a cheater, always a cheater?
No. I think you make mistakes when you're young. I think you make mistakes when you're old. I think you definitely have lapses of judgment at different points of your life due to different situations, and it's super easy in a party setting, which is what normally a lot of like cheating happens. And I feel like this is just a general like idea that, you know, partying, you have substances involved, like alcohol. It's super easy to have a lapse of judgment. And so I feel like that was like a lot of what their content was based on. And so people were like, well, did you expect cheating to not happen? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I genuinely had blind trust in that person. And I wish I could still say that, but I don't feel that way today. But I did have blind trust at the time, even with all the partying and going out in the lifestyle, because in what the person that I knew behind closed doors was not that person. Yeah.
Take us through the past week. Take us through the past week when you found a TikTok.
Yeah.
That confirmed he was cheating on you. So take us through what happened.
So the TikTok was interesting because the TikTok wasn't the reason we actually broke up. We broke up. I feel we broke up the day before, 2 days prior actually to that TikTok. He called me when he was coming back from Australia, and I was supposed to meet him in his city, and I had kind of been ghosted. Like there was no flight information. There was no transportation. Normally, like we would go back and forth with our flights because I don't need no man. So yeah, I would get my own travel a lot of the time, and we would switch back and forth on who paid for flights. And so it was his turn to get me a flight, and I hadn't been sent a flight yet, and I was like confused. I was like, "Hey, I'm supposed to be coming," and he was like, "Yeah, I'll get it." Never got it, and then later that night, December 10th, when he was flying back, he was like, "I have to like talk to you," and so the next day comes, he talks to me on the phone, and we essentially, you know when you're breaking up with someone, but like when there's something up, and so broke up over the phone. And then he asked if he could come see me in New York the next day. And I was like, okay. So he flew to New York the next day for like an hour to talk to me. And I did ask, did something happen in Australia? Is there somebody else? Did you cheat? And granted, I know men don't like to, and this is all how I feel. He may feel that he told his truth, and that's okay. This is what I feel, and this is what I asked. I did ask if there was somebody else. I asked if something happened. But here's my opinion. For someone that had healthy communication the entire relationship, where never raised our voices at each other, never even had more than just like a little disagreement on some things, like there was never any like fighting ever. So like even if something bad happened, you talk it out. And so I kind of expected like someone that like always was able to tell me anything, to if you do something, you just tell me, and like I will accept it. And I wouldn't have gotten upset. I wouldn't maybe upset, but I wouldn't have, there's no anger, there's no fear of telling me what actually may have happened to have ended the relationship. But I was told something different. Like I was told no, something else, and the something else wasn't another girl. It was just relationship over. So then I'm like, okay. So he leaves, and I'm leaving with like, I really did love this person. He's a great person. I would have defended him till the day I die. Like this person, I admired this person. We had a great time, great memories. And I go to bed like that. I wake up the next morning. I have a stomach flu. I go on TikTok, and I see one of his like buddies posted a recap of the trip. And I normally wouldn't watch this guy's actually TikTok. I didn't even follow him. It had like 0 views at the time too. And it was quite a long recap where normally your attention span, you just scroll. Something just kept me on the TikTok when I was like early morning, my eyes barely open. Had been up all night, literally like just like sick as a dog. I had a fever. And in the background of one of like a video of them partying, like at a house party, his arms around the girl, and I have the video. Like everyone's like, that's just arm around someone, but like he's like caressing her shoulder. And then in the next video, to confirm it's him, in the next clip, it's him sitting next to her at dinner. It's like the same girl. And so that's how I confirmed it, because in the original video it is kind of blurry, but I'm like, no, that's him. But I confirmed it because the next clip was him in the same shirt, and I'm like, oh, he was like canoodling. Like, in my opinion, he was like, that's canoodling. You're canoodling with somebody. And so obviously behind closed doors, I don't know what happened before that video, after that video. I don't know what was said, but I confronted him after that, and he did admit he was like, yeah, my arm was around her. I got nothing else after that. And so it was up to my judgment to believe that something did happen, because you don't just end a relationship that was good for no reason. You don't. Something happens in your brain and in an action, in my opinion, that causes you to end it. And so then that was that. Blocked, done, no contact, bye. But I will say this. I know it probably wasn't in the best interest for me to post it. However, I viewed that content on my For You page publicly, and that video was filmed when he was still my boyfriend, and his own friend posted it. So me seeing that video now as we're broken up and not having been told there might have been somebody else, I had free reign to post it, because that was a public piece of content posted by somebody else. I did not post that myself. That was not my video. That was something that came up on my For You page. It's the same thing as me taking something else off my For You page and just reposting it. The context, though, had to do with me, so I just added a caption. Yeah, it's a little... I sat still and was quiet all the time with that relationship, because I didn't feel I had a reason to be loud, and this was my one time to be loud, because how dare you? That's all I will say. And so it's still up. Maybe I'll take it down one day, but I didn't expose. Your friend posted it, so and that's that. I wasn't the one that originally made the content. His friend posted the content, and we were still dating. He was sending me flowers, texting me during when that video was probably filmed, counting down the days till he saw me. So yeah, I had a right to post that video. But the double-edged sword, or no, not double-edged sword, the good side to it is that I did get a tremendous outpouring of love and support. And also, I think when you find out you may have been betrayed, you lose the feelings instantly. And so that's like where I'm at right now. But honestly, the love of support and like the DMs, it's crazy. The DMs! Let's get to the DMs. I was angry for probably a good 20 minutes. And then guess what? If you ever felt like you've gotten betrayed and blindsided by somebody that you saw the world in, guys, life goes on. You're young, you're hot, you can do whatever you want, you're successful. Literally, life goes on. It keeps spinning. Yeah, I posted something about it, because guess what? I didn't post anything at all. I deserved to be loud for one time only, okay? I deserved to be loud, and I feel that way. So if we're all gonna be super honest about it, yeah, cheating sucks. If you say if that's how I feel. I think cheating sucks. And if you feel you didn't cheat, you can say your piece. This is my piece, okay? I don't agree with it. But I'm happy. I'm already like, I'm single. I'm single living life, girl. Like, it's honestly at like 25, my sports career, like everything I'm doing, like literally less time on a man is way more time into me. And so like more time on the mountain too. Like, let's go skiing, guys. Come on. So that's all I really want to do. That's the first thing I said was to my family was like, I have more time to go skiing now. Like,
I love it. Also, more time in you is special.
More time in me, yeah.
Okay, wait, I want to ask about the video first. Is their video, or whatever friend took this video, is that still up?
I don't know if it's still up because I blocked the friend.
Okay.
I blocked everybody.
Got it.
I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to see anyone. I unfollowed. I unfollow. I block. I don't want to see a thing, personally. And so I did. But I did save the video. I have it saved on my phone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you, in posting the screenshot, expect it to go as viral as it did.
No. I thought I was going to delete it within 5 minutes. But I was like, I had a bit of my own lapse of judgment where I was like, you know what, if you're going to post this online and not even care about my boyfriend, who was a boyfriend at the time, and now my ex canoodling in the background, I'm going to post it too. And I even commented on it. I was like, thank you for posting this. That's my boyfriend in the background. So, like, appreciate it. Yay. I don't even know if my comment's still there. I think I blocked him. But, yeah, I think people kept trying to find it. But now, like, there's another video out there that, like, I think was, like, a fan video. But people are, like, speculating about that, too. Because it's, like, a little cozy.
Yeah.
A little bit of a cozy fan shout-out video. But, like, I don't even care at this point. Like, I'm just, like, living my life. And it's just funny. People are, like, saying, like, there's, like, half his support and half my support. And, like, I don't even care what side you take. I just wanted to say my piece. And my piece was, I didn't want to just end it and people think, like, oh, like, he dumped Megan. Like, he's living his life. I'm also living my life. Like, I don't feel anything for people that don't respect me. If you don't respect me, I purely don't feel anything for you. You're already let go of my life. It feels like you're just a figment of my imagination, of my past. Like, you're not even there anymore. You don't exist physically in my world anymore. So, like, it's crazy. Maybe that's, like, a little scary how easily I can let go of somebody. But, like, I'm already at that point where I'm like, if you do me wrong, also I'm old. Like, if you do me wrong, I'm not going to cry over it. I'm not a teenager. I'm not going to be like, woo hoo hoo all night long. Like, no, I'm just over it. Yeah, I'm going to say my piece that one time, and then that's it. And no, I didn't fumble a bag. I am my own bag. Thank you. Just for those comments. So, boom.
So before we talk about your life right now.
It's only been like a week, too.
Your life right now, your week, did you feel betrayed by the people in his life who, I don't know if it was the friend posted a video, one of your shared friends, but we were talking about shared friends. Did you feel betrayed by those shared friends?
This I will speak on because, yes, they're all having a grand time and allowing that to happen in the background. And those people I genuinely thought were my friends, and I was close with them. I spent, like, every day with them. We cooked together. We went on trips together. We talked about our lives together. And for you guys just to be partying in the background while that's happening, knowing me and knowing my heart and knowing how much I thought I loved that person, that's messed up. If you let your friends do bad decisions, if you let your friends make bad decisions, you're not a real friend. Like, and that's just a general statement. That's not in specific to that video. That's in general. If you let your friends go crazy, you are a bad friend. Like, you can let them have their fun, but, like, making a decision and then, like, just, like, filming it casually, I don't know. I just can't with that. It's weird. But men don't hold each other accountable. Men do not hold each other accountable. Men look for each other's validation, and they do not care. If their friend, if your ladies, if your boyfriend has buddies that, like, cheat and, like, I don't know, they're womanizers, your boyfriend thinks that's okay behavior. And I'm just putting that out there.
Sound. Okay. So you posted the video. There was tons of comments supporting you. Yeah. I feel like everyone was like, OT, we love you. We support you. We're here for you.
I think because everyone saw the last year I had been such an awful year that, like, I finally was, like, just living life and my life was normal again. And I thought I had found love. And then, then that happens. And it's just, like, I think people are just, like, they see all the stuff you go through publicly. I think people just, like, eventually are like, damn, like, that sucks. Like, it's a lot. But I would say, honestly, like, if there's one thing I will make a point about is that a lot of people are acting like I deserved it because it's something that had happened to me last year. And let's just re-clarify, what happened to me last year was something that was, like, stolen from me and a relationship that I was in, and also, like, a super deep invasion of the privacy of other people around me. So if you're gonna, like, bring that up to tear me down and say that, like, I deserved to be essentially broken up with because of what happened to me in April 2023, go to therapy, get your feelings out. Who hurt you? Let your miserable self just, like, heal, because there's something obviously wrong with you if you think that something that happened to somebody is, like, is a follow-up fault to something else that happens to them. Like, grow up. Gross.
Gross.
My God. People are so rude about that too. Because obviously, like, he was super supportive about that situation too. Like, I will say that. He was very supportive about that situation. So, like, for you guys to, like, act like that was even, like, a thing. But that's what I mean. Our relationship was so private. Nobody even knew any of our opinions on any of that stuff. Anything. Nothing. So, like, I don't blame people for not knowing and making incel comments. But, like, stop making incel comments. Stop being an incel. Go get a job.
Internet
Come on.
haters
Yeah.
are trash.
Like,
that's disgusting.
Trash. Yeah, cheaters are trash though, by the way. If your boyfriend cheats on you, just leave. Take out the trash. God, it takes itself out. Do you want your future husband and father of your kids to bring that into your home? No. That's like tracking mud into the house. Get a doormat, and if he tracks mud after the doormat, push him back out. Gosh, awful analogy, but true. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I liked it.
I'm trying not to let
You went
anger
off.
out, but anger's coming
No,
out.
anger's coming. I feel like anger is where you solicit some of the best advice and like comments about it, and you should express anger.
But I
You
think
feel your
being more
emotions.
real about it is like, it helps. I think being more honest about it and just being truthful, like, yeah, obviously it sucked when I first found out, but like, I got over it within a day. Life goes on. And I think so many amazing, beautiful, successful women get cheated on publicly and get dogged publicly by men. And I look at even like Megan Fox. I look at even just like women that have gone through like multiple marriages and relationships. They go through so many, because you know what? It's so hard to find the right one that actually will stick and work with like you. And I look at all these amazing women, even like Kim Kardashian, Scarlett Johansson. It takes a lot to actually find something that works in your life. And you know what the problem always boils down to? Men. It always boils down to men. So guess what? If it's not working for you, leave, find another. It doesn't matter how many marriages, relationships, scandals. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. You're still of value. And I think a lot of women forget that, and they feel like they lose their value when they go through something that a man has put them through. And it's not true. It's literally has nothing to do with you. Whether you knew the whole time that he was a bad person or whether you were blindsided, it doesn't matter.
Some of the comments obviously were negative that were on the post.
Yeah.
Some of them including claims about him cheating on you other times.
Oh yeah, people are coming out of the woodwork.
What, like, give me an example.
Some comments were getting really specific on like things that have happened in Australia, and obviously I don't believe all the comments. Like, why would you believe all the comments? But some of the examples were just a little too like spot on, that I was like, is that true? But I would never ask him. I would never unblock him to even ask. Like, I could care less. But it is interesting now, like, people coming out of the woodworks after we've broken up being like, wait, I actually thought I saw something like at this university. I thought I saw something at this event, or like even in Australia, like when I met him, like he said this. And like, these are all alleged. Obviously, these are just comments from random people. I have no idea. And I'm not going to say I believe them, but it is kind of interesting when people come out and they feel safe to like speak what they think they may have saw. And so I think people just feel safe now to like say things, and whether they're true or not, doesn't matter. I'm not going to validate those people. I'm not going to tell you if I validate them myself, but it's quite interesting how people come out after and say things. Also, like, what are you going to do? There's one, you can't, like, why are you going to beat a dead horse? The horse is dead. It's nothing you can do. When a relationship's over, like, finding out more stuff that happened during it, alleged stuff, it doesn't even affect you. You're like, it's over. It's not like we're getting back together. Taylor Swift, we're never getting back together. It's over and done. So I don't even honestly care to hear. It's not even actually shocking to me at this point. If it was true, I wouldn't be shocked. If it wasn't true, I still wouldn't be shocked that somebody may have thought that. So yeah.
So it doesn't freak you out or scare you or make you even more upset to think that like maybe he was cheating on you earlier in the relationship?
No, my horse is dead.
Your horse is dead. The horse is dead.
But you know what? It doesn't change. It changes my outlook on the relationship as a whole. But when I think of me in the relationship, I was happy. And so I don't want to come on here and say that I wasn't happy. I was very happy, and like all my family and friends can attest to that. All his friends can attest to that. I was a very happy person, and just, what it ended the way it ended, and I'm not happy about that, and I'm not happy looking back on it. But when I was in it, I didn't feel any of these things, and I didn't feel like I was in a toxic environment whatsoever. So that's the blind side of it. That's the hard part to like, I think, grasp, because I don't want to dog the whole relationship, because I didn't think there was anything wrong the entire time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's
Good
talk about
time.
positive things. What were some of the
Positive.
best comments or most supportive comments that you got that just made you feel amazing?
I love the boys that are like, OT's a wifey, and I'm like, yay, someone understood that I can make really good dinners, and like, I don't know, like, I love the boys that like are coming back out of the woodworks and being like, what do you mean, like, I would never fumble you, OT, and I'm like, stop, I'm like, I love you guys. It's like bringing back like the love I feel like I used to enjoy so much from like my supporters, and also like even from like other people in the industry, like when stuff happens, like I think you just stand by one of your own, even if we don't know each other that well. And like the amount of like support I got, even just like by people seeing that, because I think people saw how happy I was, and so to see like the way it ended, I think like so many people came forward and were like, are you okay, like you don't need that, like I got you, like come, I'll take you out to dinner, like come to a game, like I got you, like you don't deserve that. So like everyone giving their support has been like tremendous. And like, yeah, I love.
What about the DMs?
The DMs are crazy.
The DMs are crazy.
It's crazy.
How many we got?
I think people, just like I said, have known how much I've been through and just are like, damn, OT, like another, every year there's a blow to my life timeline, a big blow. And I guess this one just took so long to marinate. I waited till December right before Christmas. But like the support, it's like, it's not, I don't know. I think people just like know my heart, even people that don't even truly know me. Like I feel like they know my heart and my character. And so like when I see like support from people that like I don't even know, like coming out of the woodworks, I'm like, that's like insanity. Like that is so sweet of you. But it's like crazy. Like my phone is blowing up the entire last few days. It's been nuts. But it's like all love and support, new friends. You make new friends through heartbreak and scandal and sadness. And I love that too.
Was there any particular comment that like really resonated with you that was like, this made me actually feel better? Or you don't want to talk specifics?
They're pretty much all just like, OT, like you don't deserve. It's just like people just agreeing that I don't deserve that, especially like boys. Like seeing other boys like understanding like how like a girl feels like really means a lot, because a lot of men don't care about like how women feel nowadays. And so it's like really heartwarming to see even like my younger like followers just like supporting me and like sending me love. And I'm like, you guys, like they probably even had their first relationship yet, and like they're here like sending love, being like, you don't deserve that. So it gives me hope for the younger generation too, because I think when you see so much relationship scandal online through like celebrities and the media and the news, you get desensitized. Like cheating almost nowadays is like second nature for a lot of people, that you don't even like blink twice. So the fact that people actually were like, oh, like, oh my gosh, Megan, like, are you okay? Like to me, I was like it gave me like hope in like the generation again, because I feel like a lot of people, even I'm like desensitized to like cheating at this point. Like it's not even like a shock when I see celebrities cheat on each other, because I'm like, oh, doesn't every man cheat? Like it just like it makes you like not even, you're kind of numb to it. So the fact that people even reacted the way they did to me, I was like, it made me feel good again, that people still had like morals and values and felt that love towards me and felt the way that I was like hurting at the time.
So we're getting hundreds of DMs. Are you gonna date anytime soon?
No. I will go on dates. But I'm not going to date anytime soon. If you see me on a date, mind your business. I'm just socializing. I'm just getting some yummy dinner, too, at the same time. I think there's a beauty in, like, being young in New York City and 25 and, like, literally living my life. And I saw a TikTok the other day of, like, a woman in her 30s, and she was like, in your 20s, you are so young. You are so young. You have to, like, take advantage of your time. This is the time where you can try new things, where you can be super hot and, like, make all your mistakes, because I feel old at 25. At 25, I genuinely felt old, and then I realized I think it was just everyone around me, like, also, like, making me, like, think I was much more, like, older than I was. Yeah. But I wasn't. I'm 25. I just turned 25. Like, I'm figuring out my life. I still feel like a baby, and I'm going to go live my life. I'm going to go to all the sports games. I'm going to catch me on a mountain, snowboarding, catch me just living my life, going out in New York City. If you see me, say hi. I'm very friendly, I promise, unless I'm having a migraine or something that day. But, I'm not going to date. I'm just going to enjoy people's company, I think, for sure. Unless the right one, comes around with, like, a Marquise Diamond, and I'll be like, okay, sure, yeah. But, like, I do want to get married one day. I do want to get married before I turn 30, but I don't know. I'm going to enjoy 25. I'm going to genuinely enjoy 25. Love. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Will you and X ever speak again?
No.
It's done.
And there is a high likelihood of us seeing each other at like an event one day, because our lives cross over into a lot of like the same events. if I ever do, I think I'm just gonna incognito that stuff and just shades on, just bolt it, maybe grab a drink or something. But I don't think I ever want to speak to that person ever again. No. But there's
hello,
a high
goodbye.
likelihood of being in the same vicinity again, which when that day comes, we'll handle it with grace.
He doesn't deserve time or energy.
No time or energy.
No time or energy.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put like a street interview. Maybe I'll just like bring the mic up and be like, so what do you think about what do you think about OT Mac? And then just like, just like see the answer
To him?
yeah, and like maybe just like street interview it and see how it goes, because I think a lot of people like that, like brings out their inner self. So we'll see.
Throw him off guard.
Yeah, throw them off guard. Never let them know your next move.
He's done.
Yeah.